Hey, it's Lisa Mitchell, the people reader and founder of Power Body Language. And one of the favorite activities that I get to do as part of my business is coaching sessions with clients. And the reason I love it so much is everyone's got a unique story. And I learn as much from my clients as I could ever hope to share with them. And some of the coolest experiences that I have and the most impactful perspectives that I get are from the stories of what my clients are walking into every day. And yesterday I worked with a woman who her primary career focus is in the amazing business of helping medical professionals and families through the organ donation process. And it kind of seems like maybe a morbid topic when you're thinking of it from the perspective that in order to have a successful organ transplant or an organ donation, there's a loss associated with that. And we were talking about some of the challenges that she has kind of facilitating that process and helping the medical professionals really understand what's happening from the family perspective. And she shared with me that one of their concerns is sometimes the time that it takes, because what I didn't know, and she educated me on the process, was that when someone has declared their desire to be an organ donor, there actually is a process of when that person is essentially brain dead and to when they're declared physically dead. And that process includes many times a scenario called broken heart syndrome. And that basically happens from a biological standpoint when someone is brain dead, the body kind of goes into panic mode, and it's trying to compensate, and even being sustained on machines, it puts a lot of stress on the body, and everything kind of goes a little crazy. And part of what's stressed the most is somebody's heart. And in order to prime that heart for a successful transplant and to help it thrive and work in the best capacity that it can in someone else, there has to be some time. And that time frame is intentional, and it's built in to help the broken heart syndrome heart actually thrive and repair itself, which I learned it will do if given the appropriate amount of time. The heart will kind of heal itself out of that broken heart syndrome state, which makes it much more possible for it to thrive in a new environment, in a donor body. And I was thinking, how often are we in a state of broken heart syndrome? And instead of giving ourselves the time to heal and repair and to optimize ourselves for the best possible outcome in a new environment, we just rush right in. And then we're surprised when we don't get the outcome that we want. And this can be, a lot of my focus, is on career coaching and handling transition, especially for millennial women that are in that space of transitioning and maybe finding what's next or exploring new territory. And a lot of times that transition comes with a catalyst that maybe brings a sadness, or maybe we weren't expecting, whether it was a job loss or the end of a relationship, or maybe just mourning the past phase of our life that we're moving out of and transitioning into something new. And I think we all kind of experience broken heart syndrome in our own ways. And the perspective that I got from this client yesterday, first of all, she had me crying in Starbucks as she was walking me through what this process feels like and looks like for these families. Like I'm sitting in Starbucks and I'm literally crying at 9 a.m. in the morning. But it resonated so strongly with me, both from an empathetic standpoint of, gosh, what these families on both sides of the organ donation process are feeling and going through, and just how difficult it is and how joyous it is, and how important the medical professionals and the team that help with the donation process are to making everything work and getting an optimal outcome. And I was really overwhelmed. I was just so appreciative for the people that are walking in these places, in these spaces with these families, that are providing comfort and guidance to the family whose loved ones' organs are being donated, and also to the families who are celebrating, who are receiving and hoping for the best outcomes. And when she really explained to me how important it is to, first of all, acknowledge that broken heart syndrome is a real thing, not only in this realm, but I think in many other transitions in our life. And then the importance of time. You cannot rush the healing process. And I think right now with so many people going through transitions, or so many people accepting changes, or raising the awareness, especially with the Me Too initiative, and all the disclosures that are coming forth, that I think now is the important time to remember that we need to take time. We need to take time to heal our hearts. We need to take time to set ourselves up for optimal outcomes in whatever transition, whatever environment, whatever experience we find ourselves moving into next. It's something that you can't rush. If you do it too soon, the chances of success are greatly diminished. The chances that all the pain and all the trauma and all the transition are not going to be able to be optimized to your benefit. That's what happens if you don't give it time. So I just wanted to share that. I was really touched by the conversation. I appreciate her educating me on the process and giving me kind of a first person view into what this looks and feels like for her, and for her team, and for the medical professionals and families that they deal with. So broken heart syndrome is a real thing, both medically in the organ donation process, and I think metaphorically in ourselves, we experience that as we move through transition. So I encourage you to just acknowledge whatever phase of transition that you're in, and feel okay taking the time that you need to make sure that your broken heart syndrome can be rebounded from, and that you can really thrive and be successful and really just optimize all the benefits of that transition into your life. That's my word of wisdom for today. If you want to know more, you can find me at powerbodylanguage.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. It's Lisa Mitchell, MITCH, capital L. I'd love to connect with you further. I'd love to hear your thoughts on your broken heart syndrome, because we've all had it in some way, shape, or form. How did you manage through a transition, and how much time did it take you to really be able to move into a new space and use that pain, that transition, and that trauma to empower you, to make you more successful? Leave it in the comments, share it out. I'd love to hear your thoughts.